Welcome to Echoing Heart Tales. I was in the kitchen making breakfast when Grace came downstairs holding a piece of paper. She was 9 years old, still in her pajamas, hair messy from sleep. Her face had that careful expression children get when they're trying to figure out if something is bad news before they hand it over. "Mom," she said quietly, "I found this on the counter." I took the paper. It was my mother's handwriting. The neat, controlled loops I'd known my entire life. The message was short. "Jessica, we've decided it's time for you and Grace to find your own place. Please be moved out by the time we return from Bella's on the 28th. We'll discuss details when we're back. Mom and Dad." I read it twice, then a third time. Grace was watching my face. "What does it mean?" she asked. I looked at the date on the wall calendar, December 22nd. My parents had left that morning to spend Christmas week with my sister, Bella. They'd be back on the 28th, 6 days. They wanted us out in 6 days. On Christmas week, it means we need to find a new place to live, I said. I kept my voice steady, calm, the way you do when your child is watching, and you can't let them see how hard you've just been hit. Grace's eyes went wide. "Why?" "I don't know yet," I said, "but we'll figure it out. Let me tell you how we got here. I'd been living with my parents for 8 months. Not because I wanted to, because I'd lost my job and couldn't make rent, and my parents had offered their apartment temporarily, until I got back on my feet. The basement was small, but it was separate. Its own entrance, a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchenette. Grace and I made it work. I paid them $600 a month. Not much, but it was what I could afford while I was job hunting and doing freelance work. My parents had never seemed bothered by the arrangement. Until Bella came back into the picture. Bella was my older sister, the successful one. The one who'd married well and moved 3 states away and sent Christmas cards with professional photos and updates about her perfect life. She had 2 kids, a big house, a husband who made good money, and she'd decided this year that she wanted to host my parents for Christmas, a whole week, in her beautiful home, with her beautiful family. I wasn't invited. Neither was Grace. My mother had mentioned it casually 2 weeks ago. "Oh, Bella really wants us to come stay for Christmas. It'll be so nice to spend time with her and the kids. You understand?" I'd said yes because what else do you say? I'd told Grace we'd have a quiet Christmas. Just us, we'd make it special. I hadn't known that while they were gone, they expected us to disappear. I looked at the note again. "We'll discuss details when we're back. Not we'll help you find a place. Not we'll give you time. Just be gone." Grace was still standing there. "Are we in trouble?" she asked. "No, sweetheart," I said. "We're not in trouble." "Then why do we have to leave?" I didn't have a good answer, so I said the only thing I could think of. Sometimes grown-ups make decisions that don't make sense to anyone but them. This is one of those times. That day I made phone calls, looked at apartments, crunched numbers. With my freelance income, I could afford maybe $900 a month. Maybe. The cheapest place I found was $1,100, and it wasn't available until January 15th. I called my parents, both of them. Neither answered. I left voicemails, calm, polite. "I got your note. Can we talk about this? I need more time. Please call me back." They didn't. On Christmas Eve, Grace and I were alone in the basement apartment. I'd put up a small tree, wrapped the few presents I could afford, tried to make it feel festive. Grace helped me make cookies. We watched movies. She fell asleep on the couch next to me. I looked at her sleeping face and felt something harden in my chest. Not anger, something colder, clarity. My parents had left a note on Christmas week, telling their daughter and granddaughter to move out, while they were at my sister's house celebrating. I pulled out my phone and opened my bank app. I'd been paying my parents $600 a month, automatically, on the 1st of every month. I canceled the automatic payment. Then I sent my mother a text. "I got your note. I'll be out by the 28th. I've also canceled the rent. Payments effective immediately. You'll get nothing for December. Consider it compensation for the 6 days' notice." I didn't expect a response. I didn't get one. Over the next 4 days, I worked. Hard. I called in every favor I had, reached out to old coworkers, put out desperate posts on social media, asked friends if they knew of any short-term rentals, anything. On the 26th, a friend of a friend messaged me. She had a small house she was renting out. The previous tenant had just left. It needed some work, but it was livable. $800 a month, available immediately. I went to see it that afternoon. It was small, needed paint. The kitchen was outdated, but it had 2 bedrooms, a backyard, a door that locked. It was ours. I signed the lease that night. On the 27th, Grace and I packed everything we owned into my car and a borrowed truck. We moved out of my parents' basement, left it clean, left the keys on the counter, left a note of my own. We're out. As requested, don't contact us. My parents came home on the 28th. They called me that evening. My mother's voice was tight, surprised. Jessica, we're back.
Where are you?
We moved out, I said. Like you asked. But we needed to talk first, my mother said. About what? I asked. About the arrangement, about how this was going to work. You left me a note telling me to be out by the time you got back, I said. I'm out. What else is there to discuss? You didn't give us December's rent, my mother said. You gave me 6 days' notice on Christmas week, I said. You're lucky you got November's rent. I don't owe you anything. That's not how this works, my mother said. Her voice was rising now. You can't just decide not to pay. I can when you evict me with 6 days' notice while you're at Bella's house for Christmas, I said. My mother went quiet. We weren't evicting you. We were asking you to find your own place. With 6 days' notice, I repeated. On Christmas. We thought you'd need motivation, my mother said. Motivation for what? I asked. You were getting too comfortable, my mother said. We wanted you to focus on getting back on your feet. I closed my eyes. I was getting back on my feet. I was paying you rent, taking care of Grace, looking for full-time work. What part of that looked like I wasn't focused? You were relying on us too much, my mother said. I was living in your basement and paying rent, I said. That's not relying on you. That's renting from you, like any other tenant. But you didn't treat me like a tenant. You treated me like a burden you wanted gone. That's not fair, my mother said. What's not fair is leaving a note for your daughter and granddaughter on Christmas week telling them to move out while you're celebrating with Bella's family. My mother was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Bella thought it would be good for you to be more independent. And there it was, Bella. Bella doesn't even live in this state, I said. Why does she get a say in whether I can live in your basement? She's concerned about you, my mother said. She thinks you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Bella has never asked me how I'm doing, I said. Not once since I moved in with you, but she has opinions about my life? She's your sister, my mother said. She cares. If she cared, she would have called me, I said. Instead, she convinced you to kick me out. On Christmas. We didn't kick you out, my mother said. Yes, I said. You did. I hung up. My father called the next day. Different approach. Gentler. Jessica, your mother is upset. This wasn't supposed to go this way. How is it supposed to go? I asked. We thought you'd come talk to us, he said. We thought we'd sit down and work out a plan together. You left a note, I said. While you were gone. You didn't ask me to come talk. You told me to be out. My father sighed. The note was poorly worded. The note was clear, I said. You wanted me out by the 28th. I'm out. Where are you staying? He asked. I found a place, I said. Can we see Grace? He asked. No, I said. My father went quiet. Jessica, don't punish Grace because you're upset with us. I'm not punishing Grace, I said. I'm protecting her. From what? From the message you just sent her, I said. That her grandparents' love is conditional. That she's only welcome when it's convenient. That Christmas with Bella's family is more important than Christmas with her. That's not what we meant, my father said. That's what you did, I said. 3 weeks went by. I didn't hear from them. Then my mother sent a text. We'd like to see Grace. Maybe take her for ice cream. I didn't respond. She texted again. Jessica, please. She's our granddaughter. I replied. She's my daughter, and you made it very clear she wasn't a priority. When you chose Christmas with Bella over us, you don't get to come back now because you miss her. My mother called. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. Long, defensive, turned into accusations halfway through. I deleted it without finishing. Grace asked about them once. Why don't we see Grandma and Grandpa anymore? Because they hurt us, I said. And I'm making sure they can't do it again. But I miss them, Grace said. I know, I said. But sometimes the people we love do things that aren't safe. And my job is to keep you safe, even from them. Grace nodded slowly. Okay. It's been 7 months. We're still in the small house. I got a full-time job in February. We're doing okay. Grace has her own room, a backyard, friends in the neighborhood. She's happy. My parents send cards occasionally. Birthday, Easter. No personal messages, just generic store-bought sentiments. I put them in a drawer. Grace doesn't ask about them anymore. Last month, my mother called from a number I didn't recognize. I answered before I realized. Jessica, what do you want? I asked. I want to apologize, she said. For what specifically? I asked. For the note. For the timing. For not handling it better. Not for kicking us out? I asked.